Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. This is Cam, a Stoic Soldier. Thank you guys for joining me. Hope everyone's had a great week. Here's your video of the week. So, as we talked about in the past, majority of Stoic philosophy is all about being immovable, especially when it comes to outside circumstances. So, one thing I want to emphasize today, especially, is the gray rock method. For those who are not familiar with it, it is just as I said, being as immovable and as non-reactive to all scenarios, to just about anything that goes on, because the worst thing you can do in a situation is to react to it negatively. Put yourself into a negative state of mind, allow things to erupt in chaos to the point where you just feel that you have no control over it, and then next thing you know, it just starts spiraling. It just goes from one cataclysmic event to another. So, as I always talked about, as pretty much any expert in meditative practice, especially, will tell you, the best thing you can do in that moment when you feel yourself getting overwhelmed is to just simply stop and take a breath. Stop, relax, let yourself be loose, let yourself just decompress for a few seconds. Doesn't have to be long, but those few seconds are going to make all the difference in the world. That'll easily dictate you making the wrong decision or the right decision. Now, even though that nothing's ever going to be completely set in stone, there's probably 100 wrong decisions and there's 100 right decisions. You're more than likely going to make a better decision, or a more practical decision, a more reasonable decision, when you're in the right state of mind. So, for those of you who may or may not be very deep into meditation, for those of you who are, you know what I'm talking about. For those of you who are not, I would highly recommend it, because there's so many other benefits that come with it, not just mental clarity, but health benefits that come with it. There's actually scientific proof and evidence behind it that go to show people who are constantly elevating to that state are reporting much less ailments, less illnesses, what have you. There's a whole list of them that I'll discuss later on in videos. I'll go actually into the full statistics. But all in all, by you allowing yourself to just on a regular basis take that breath, regulate your thoughts, regulate your emotions, you're going to find that life becomes that much easier. Because as I said, sometimes life happens and we can't control every single thing, but our responsiveness to the situation is going to be a lot more measured, and we're going to find that we have much better results to come with it by just disengaging from our emotions, even if it's for a few seconds. Just allowing yourself to step away when you see that things are getting too heated up. It's like touching a hot frying pan. The second you put your finger on it, you step away, it cools off after you just finished cooking. If you continue leaving your hand there, what's going to happen? You're going to end up getting blistered. But if once the stove is off, you let it cool, go back, grab it, put it in the dishwasher, then you're fine. Okay? So think of your emotions as the same way. When you feel that you're getting too hot, step away. Now, going back to the gray rock method. Again, the idea of it is that you're just not fazed by anything. And this especially works with toxic individuals, narcissists, what have you, that are constantly trying to push your buttons, people that are constantly trying to get a rise out of you. As we talked about, two things that dictate as to whether or not you should listen to someone. Number one, is it true? Number two, who is the source, or what's the source? Is this a valid source that I'm hearing this from? Now, again, not to say that we shouldn't reflect on ourselves, that we should just completely ignore everything that goes on in the world, sticking our heads in the sand and pretending that nothing else exists and we would just believe what we want. By no means. But at the same time, allowing yourself to come to the conclusion that you're never going to be perfect, and that there are certain situations in which you do listen to others and certain situations where you don't. The example being that if you see that somebody's got the ideal life, maybe somebody who's living the life that you want, maybe who's doing the career that you've always dreamed of, somebody who's got everything that you've been aspiring to get, and they're merely offering you some friendly advice, especially if you go and ask for it, if you genuinely are curious, then that would be a good time to maybe reflect and make some changes. If somebody's just merely making a comment and it has no real effect, there's no real support behind it, and they're just merely making that comment because they want to get a rise out of you, then at that point, that's when it's perfectly okay to look the other way. And at that point, that is when you say to yourself, so what? It's okay to say that. You have every right to let people know, even when it comes to situations, something that doesn't even involve a specific individual. It's okay every once in a while to just simply say, so what? Viewing it with total indifference. And then when it comes to people, especially those who are constantly trying to get that rise out of you or bring you down, indifference to the point of total and complete apathy. Just absolute disinterest to the highest degree, to the highest extremity. That's what's going to make them feel as if they're just shooting rubber bullets at a ghost. They're realizing that they're wasting their time. Eventually, they're going to come to terms and they're going to come to that conclusion that what I'm doing here, it has no place. I have no power here. I feel powerless by trying to screw with this guy, so I'm going to go take my pettiness elsewhere. But when you do react to it, then you're giving them all the power they want. You're giving them the exact rise that they're looking for. So next time somebody makes that comment, next time somebody judges you, even when you are doing what you're supposed to be doing or what you want to be doing, and you are in a good place, but somehow people are still looking for something to say about you, again, every once in a while, it's okay to ask yourself, cool, so what? That's the end of it. No labels, no connotation. It's neither good or bad. You're just merely neutral. You're at a place of acceptance, peaceful and blissful detachment. When you have that peace within yourself and it permeates you and your being and everyone around you and your environment, nobody's going to be able to say anything. Nobody is going to be able to bring you down, bring you out of that peace of Zen, or that place of Zen, and then they're going to go find a different target. They're going to go target somebody who's actually decent prey. They're not going to continue wasting their time trying to throw feathers at a brick wall hoping to break it down. So it all starts with you being comfortable with yourself. It all starts with you allowing yourself to have flaws and accepting them and realizing that everyone else does at the end of the day. There is nobody without flaws. No one's perfect, but no one's completely useless either. That's a two-way street. Something to keep in mind for you guys. Cool. I hope this video helps for any of you guys who have been struggling with something like that. And more to come, of course, in the future. Again, one to come at least every single week. Thank you guys so much again for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And please do feel free to leave a comment down below. Or if you guys have any requests that you have as far as video topics are concerned, I'll be more than happy to answer that. Anything relating to this topic. And then more and more in the future, I'll be kind of diverging into different topics. And more than happy to help you guys any way I can. Cool. So, again, thank you guys for joining me. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. And I will see you guys, if not in the next few days, for sure next week. Stoic Soldier, out.